Hello again, Australia. Well, next time I turn this camera on, I'll take it out to show you our little menagerie. We had numerous wallabies here yesterday, all lined up. Would have made a spectacular shot, but I didn't have discs yesterday. I only bought these replacement discs, new discs today, so now probably this opportunity won't arise again. Who knows, we might get it on Funniest Home Idiots. Yeah, so it's been an interesting sort of day. I won't go into it too much. Went for a run over to see Stephen, placate the after rabbit, and tomorrow should be alright, or better. Time to go into hardcore detox in the next days, soon. Ooh, not looking forward to it. It's pretty nasty. The 72-hour maelstrom. With the maelstrom stomach I rise to greet a day of the black dog. I'll have to weave something around those lines and make an ode or a poem about it. There's certainly mileage there somewhere. Okay, as I said, this was just a hello, I'm back. Yeah, I am back, it's me. I made it without getting malaria, or didn't get my teeth done, but we've explained that on other discs. I am going back. I'm going to see the credit union in the next fortnight to borrow a few thousand, and I'm going to go back and actually get my teeth done next time. Have an even better time. Bring back lots of presents, lots of more consumer goodies for all the people. I brought souvenirs for lots of people, but there was the odd one that I noticed would wanted something else or something more. You know, there's no placating some people's greed. I mean, it's all free, you know. Still, they want more, but that's what humanity's about: greed, avarice, and coveting other men's wives and possessions. Yeah, aren't we a wonderful bloody race? Sometimes I wish that there was another planet that I could live on, that somewhere between Mars and Venus, and or even another gender. Sometimes I don't like men, sometimes I don't like women. Sometimes I don't like being a bloke. Not that I'm a dresser or a cross-dresser or anything like that, I'm straight, but other guys with their actions give other men, and a good man, a bad name, and that's the analogy that I'm putting across here now. And yeah, women are very horrible creatures too, you know. It's why I've got to my middle ages and have never been married and never had kids. I know the fear of sex all too well. They're actually quite scared of me. I intimidate a lot of women by not only my mere presence, but by my insights into the female psyche. You know, my studies from psychology, it's the same. Men and women are the same. well, let's say, we're 99% the same. We think the same. Our anatomy's marginally different, but as far as brain chemistry and needs and lusts and requirements, they're identical to male and female. Anyway, sometimes I wish that there was an androgynous gender that I could be that would save me from being labelled a man or a woman. Yeah, no, let's not misconstrue this conversation here. It could be mistaken as some kind of outing myself of the closet, but I was never in the closet to be outed. So, as I have said before, I am straight as far as straight goes. I don't hate women. I'm not a misogynist. However, I'm very wary of women that have the potential to break someone's heart and walk all over you. But in those days, I was attracting the wrong type of woman, bimbo types that I went to Bimbos Anonymous. I got better, so I don't have to bother about them anymore. And apart from that, I do have a fondness for the fairer sex, and there's nothing quite as enjoyable as the tender warmth of a lady in your bed. So, yeah, I enjoy women. I enjoy the company of women. It's just some of the things that women do that I don't like. Okay, excuse me. I'm just going to have a pipe. Okay, just to finish off, winding this whole business up. I'm in Joe Gold's World Gym shirt. I gave my Joe Gold's World Gym singlet muscle shirt to one of the guys overseas, and yes, I'm sure he'd be wearing it. He enjoyed it. I gave away all my Western clothes when I went over there. They were scooped up by the Vietnamese guys at the hotel here and there. Taxied my bike riders and stuff. It was a great time in Vietnam. Oh God, I just can't wait to go back. the whole package, the people, and the shopping. Not that I buy shops, but buy shops that I shop much. But yeah, the stuff's over there so cheap that you can just buy heaps of things, for people, and it doesn't cost you much, and get you lots of brownie points with people. And what else? Blah 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 blah. I'll have to get myself a script, make myself up a script, because I do intend to make ongoing commentaries of my slant on life, the universe and everything. Something that I want to leave for posterity, and possibly for some notoriety before I shuffle off this mortal alfoil, because I know I have a lot to contribute to society. I just haven't got around to doing the practical yet. I've done all the theory. It's just initiating the action. It'll come. When I return from with my new teeth, because I do plan on getting back into public speaking and things. I should have been a politician, you know. I would have carved them up, but the road that I chose was a hard one and led me into other journeys. And sadly, I never had the essential qualifications for a political life, which was being a liar and a drunk. So, I wasn't cut out for political life, as far as that goes. I've got things to do before I go to Vietnam, and that requires selling my antiques and valuables, turning them into cash, so I can spend it there and enjoy it all I can. And as I said, my teeth has been a priority. Funny thing now, the government, we're up for elections and the government's dangling the carrot of a dental plan for the impoverished as a lure for votes, but sadly I'll have my dental repairs done overseas and have a holiday, another holiday in the process. But this time Gardy's coming with me, so that's going to be great. Gardy's Gardy. Oh, he's a wild and crazy guy, but you know, he's a different person. You just got to know how to take Ryan and how to handle him, how to put out his fire when he starts going, when he's ablaze, or his fuse is being lit, because it's only about that long. And you know, he's had a lot of stress in his life, and you know, as I said, but I know how to say the right thing at the right time to settle him down. I'm good with things like that. I'm a good placater of people. When they start getting wound up, I just can't practice what I preach and do. The same thing utilise the same advice unto myself. But again, that's all about the King of Cups, which is my tarot card, one of my tarot cards. Excuse me. Oh well, while I'm on the subject here, I'll just very, very quickly introduce. I do palm reading and tarot card reading. Oh, talk about oh, what card was I just talking about? The King of Cups. I just picked up the deck, and what's the first card? The King of Cups. Now that's spooky, man. But that's one really bizarre thing about the tarot, is it's just like the telephone line to the ether, where you tap. The ether's just like the universal database of all information, past, present, and future. Now, the tarot is one of the vehicles that you can utilise to tap into that source of information. There are many other metaphysical sciences that also do the same thing, and yeah, I'm familiar with many of them. I'm practiced in a few, but yeah, there I was going to go through the deck to find the King of Cups for you, and there he was sitting right on the top. And this is another card of mine that is the Hierophant, which is often me. And last but not least, my old mate. Where is he? I'll find him here. No, there's Hermes. That's not the Hermes I'm after. Hermes, there he is. The Magician. Oh, there's a close-up of the bottom card there. There's the King of Cups. So, yes, old Hermes. He's another one of my mentors, one of my angels, who guides me when I'm at the crossroads, which is quite often. And okay, I just turned 3 cards just to have a quick peek at things. Now I'll put them away. Sorry to distract you. Now, I'm keen to get lots of stuff down on disc in future, because I've got a hell of a lot to say about something to say about everything, and also I want to chronicle some of my written work, and well, this is the perfect medium to do it. I mean, I'm not quite as animated in in this disc as I have been in the first load of discs I did, where I was somewhat and wound up to the max. And when I'm like that, it's the hands and the things is going and that. So here is the alter ego Jonathan Livingston Budgerigar here, the mild-mannered reporter from the Sun newspaper. I did work with the Sun newspaper, yes, many years ago. And yes, this is the mild-mannered me, the quiet, reserve, Poindexter Johnny, Don. Okay. I've got to learn to stop saying that. I mean, it's not good for continuity of your grammar or your diction, your comprehension, whatever it is you care to call it. And I've got to get used to dropping that keeping the continuity flowing without the and Molly Meldrums. I learnt that off Molly. Okay, and yeah, okay. Cutting to the chase. Let's just have a little look see up on the wall here. Can we see that up there? On this painting. Can we see that? Oh, it's got a bit of a shadow across it there. It's got a story to it, that painting. And there's a story to that one there too, but I am forbidden to speak of it for fear of prosecution and or persecution. I'm already concerned. There's a good word to use. That one of the discs that I had confiscated at the airport because they were looking for kiddie porn. Fuck, I was dirty about that. You know, they searched me for drugs. You can search me for drugs, call me a druggie, but don't call me a fucking rock spider, you know. I got filthy about that anyway. Scenes got ugly at the airport at that point, and you know, I wanted to get out of there anyway. The smart asses went through all my discs. They took one as the one I took at the War Museum, where I was bagging the shit out of the Americans, you know what I mean? And the tone of commentary that I used all through it would qualify as sedition. Nowadays that we've rehashed our terrorism laws, it's crazy. But in a Western society, our government's undermining our civil rights, our human rights, and every kind of right you can think of, right under our noses, and we don't even stop to think about it, you know. Concerned thinking people are concerned and freaking out, but we're getting more and more like the communist police state by the year, by the month, by the week. You know, when you see people getting arrested for crossing the streets, you know, when these big APEC meetings and things are happening, you know, it's just it's ugly, you know, it's the ugly side of democracy. And, you know, do-gooders like George Bush and that run around and call people like that rebels and troublemakers, where all they are is speaking up for humanity and for the planet. And, you know, monsters like George Bush, just they are unconscious people. All they think of is greed and profit, and we know the corruption that originally put George Bush into power in the first place, and then once he was there, he consolidated his position quite easily when you have control of Congress and everything. But he got his comeuppance, and now he's, you know, he's a premier, he's a president, a lame duck president, you know, because as sure as eggs are eggs, Georgie Bush and Johnny Howard are on their way out, and they can go fuck themselves somewhere else, can't they? Flashing back to my little drawing in my manual. Yes, there's sick people who are unconscious, as holy men say, that people like that, they are just, they don't think, they're not aware, you know what I mean? They're not alert to what is going on, not only inside their head but around them, not only locally but globally. You know, they can't conceive anything outside of a balance sheet or a business meeting or some appointment that's going to make them money or profit. So thinking outside of that is impossible for those people, because their whole world is evolved around greed, and greed is a sin. It's one of the 7 deadly sins. You cannot, and the universe will not allow you to perpetuate greed upon yourself and those around you, because it undermines the karmic blocks of the universe, which are basically tolerance and compassion and inner riches. Now, those 3 things they're not commodities, right? So the business world sees them as unsuccessful ventures or ideologies that don't pave the road to any wealth. But again, I get back to what is wealth? A big fat bank account. But on this hand, I say, what of inner riches again? How wealthy is a man who has inner riches? Now, as far as a spiritualist goes, he's the wealthiest and the happiest man on earth, because he's content to have only spirituality and inner riches. But again, to the capitalist world, that is something that can't be bought, sold, traded, or sold, so it's worthless. Now, again, what worth or what price do you place on inner riches? And the capitalist puts no price on it. The spiritualist places everything on it, because it is the true essence of our inner soul. When people ask holy men, what's the meaning of life, and all that, some have, well, everyone has their own opinion, but I have been very fortunate in that some of my gurus were extremely evolved beings, and they imparted the wisdom of the universe upon me. Now, some people work all of their lives to acquire this knowledge, but funny thing, at the age of 42, the meaning of life here, I acquired this knowledge, and it didn't change my life. However, it made me think that, okay, if I then die tomorrow, have I fulfilled all of my destinies? Or destiny, say destinies plural. And that was a question that raised more questions. I don't know. But with people, if ever I do get into conversations with spiritual people and they ask me, or if the question gets around to, you know, the meaning of life, blah blah blah, what is it, and I tell them. Now, I won't go into it right here and now, but I'll just sum it up in one word. The meaning of life is time. Other gurus would say other things, but now, what I forgot to mention was, I digressed there before, was what I was around to speaking about, is the essence of why we're here and what true happiness is about. What we strive to achieve here. What is it that would make us happy? And it isn't money. Money buys you a better quality of misery, but it doesn't make you happy. What makes you happy is inner peace. Right? Once you've dumped all of that tension, stress, anxiety, angst, and all of that negativity, once you dump that and you have some sense of inner peace, but in this process there's also a cathartic process where you have to cleanse your heart and soul of all of its impurities and all of the bad energy and all of the demons that have attached themselves to the negative energy and all that. But that is a part of the process of the journey to reaching inner peace. Dumping all of that stuff on the way is a part of the journey. That is the end result, the inner peace, once you've got. And of course, not only that, but you have to rid ourselves of the old suffering, desire, because with these two things, there's attachment, right? There's attachment. If you have desire for anything on this earth, your spiritual body will see that you return to make some attachment to that, because we aren't our souls aren't free until we've truly liberated ourselves of all suffering and desire. Drugs, that's desire, drugs and the desires, right? The suffering goes with the desires, as an after effect of the desires. But once you rid yourself of your drugs, and that's tobacco, food is a drug, powders, ecstasies, chemical drugs, pills, potions, anything that you're addicted to, you have to free yourself of that addiction before you die. Because if you die with those addictions, the memory of that will carry over to the next life and will perpetuate itself in the samsara, right? So, in all of this in a nutshell about our essence of why we're here, what's all about Alfie and all that, is we're given this body to free ourselves from it. Capiche? let's put it another way. We are given this flesh and blood to free our spirit from our mind. Now, let me make this perfectly clear. The so-called experts say that the mind is the master, right? It's not. The spirit is the master. The mind drives the body around. The mind is the control tower that carts the body around. It carts the control tower wherever it wants to go to do whatever it wants to do. Okay? In this process, we make our attachments to certain things which then enslave us. Once enslaved, you are then suffering because you have desire.